Oh, thank you for showing an interest in PlayStation Home, but unfortunately it is now closed. We'd like to thank each and every one of the 41 million people from around the world who helped to make PS Home what it was, and we hope you have enjoyed the ride as much as we have. Wow. But it looks like I'm now PlayStation homeless. End of an era. Titles. Now, there are some games that you will play as collective gamers that you think, meh. Some games you play that you think, yeah, they're alright. Some games that you play that you will like. Some games that you will play that you enjoy. Some games that you play that you would even love to play. But there are very few games, in my opinion, that I implicitly adore. And the Uncharted franchise is definitely one of those games. I really adore Uncharted. I adore it. If the Uncharted franchise was a woman, well, I think you know what's coming next. But anyway, when they mentioned the Uncharted 4 impending release, and furthermore, when they actually showed the trailer, the original trailer, must have been like around a 3-minute trailer. They could have just shown a 10-second trailer of Uncharted 4. There's no doubt in my mind that the loyal fan base was going to buy that anyway. Not a question, you know. And as a late newcomer adopter to the series, you know, it was a no-brainer that I was going to get it as well. But looking now at the second trailer, which is this one, which is called Sam's Pursuit, and the palette in this trailer, very colorful, got a unique look to it, is what you imagine the next step of the Uncharted saga to be on a next stroke current gen console situation. And it is intrinsically Uncharted. It is definitely Uncharted. It's got all the mechanics. It's got all the tongue-in-cheek vibe. Raiders of the Lost Ark stroke Tomb Raider vibe about it. You know, it can be argued what influenced what, you know, but in my opinion, Tomb Raider influenced Uncharted, and in turn, Uncharted re-influenced Tomb Raider. That's how I see it. But anyway, that's a matter of opinion. But now looking at the trailer and looking at the detail, the color, you know, the overall look of the freaking thing, it's like a moving painting. It's a work of art, in my opinion. And I'm not speaking as a fanboy. It just has that look about it, you know. And I cannot wait to play it amongst thousands, if not millions of other people. But my first introduction to Uncharted was actually Uncharted 3, when I received the beta to play on my PS3 in July of 2011. And before that time, I saw it. I saw the game around. I saw the game doing its rounds. I was just so into the Fight Night series that I didn't even give anything else a second look, because I was so heavily into Fight Night Round 4 and Fight Night Champion that, you know, anything else just didn't matter. It was one of those cases where, you know, that's the only reason why I turned on my PS3 was to play those games. But then after playing the beta of Uncharted 3, and in between the time of playing the beta and the game's official release, which I do believe was the 11th of November 2011, so they've done all the 11s, and in that time I decided to invest in Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2 and played the fuck out of them. And after playing those two games, it just remained obvious as to why people revere and beloved this series so much. It just has a tongue-in-cheek vibe about it, you know, an adventure. It's a really true adventure game, you know, definitely is. And with that, you know, it was more or less sealed that Naughty Dog was a developer that I was going to follow implicitly, because I now assimilate, if for want of a word, I equate Naughty Dog with quality. And anything that Naughty Dog's gonna put out is gonna be of quality. Even if it takes them freaking 5 years to put out the freaking game, it's gonna be quality, you know, because they have that reputation, you know. So it can be rest assured that whatever they put out, it is gonna be a game that's gonna last a long time. Now, in the midst of Uncharted 3 and the PS3 and Naughty Dog developing The Last of Us, which was another seminal moment in E3's history. Because me seeing the Last of Us gameplay was of the same standard as I'm seeing now. I was intrigued as to what that game was going to be, because everyone was just so used to Uncharted. They didn't know, you know, what The Last of Us would entail. And to some point, you know, Naughty Dog wasn't even given a hard sell in relation to the multiplayer. That was more or less, you know, a by the way moment. Here, this is what we got for you for the multiplayer. You know, so they were totally reliant on storytelling, which is good, which I think it's something that, you know, that game developers should concentrate on. They should concentrate on, you know, on the storytelling to make it as immersive, you know, because as much as I like playing multiplayer, if you give me a game that has good storytelling, I'll play that, you know. Hence me reinvesting in the Nathan Drake collection, but I'll go back into that a little bit later. But playing The Last of Us, when I finally got that game on the PS3 and playing it alongside Uncharted, because remember, I played Uncharted 3 for a long time, but then when I started playing The Last of Us, it was a different game altogether. It was paced different, you know. It was an emotional freaking game, you know. Within the first 9 minutes of the game, you know, you had grown-ass people crying and shit. That's powerful freaking shit, man. When you can tell a story with that, you can empathize to a point, you know, and you can imagine how you would be in Joe's situation within the first 9 minutes. That was just some emotional shit right there. And that is the mark of really, really good storytellers. And Naughty Dogs are the grandmasters of that, in my opinion. But then, after playing The Last of Us and then getting back into Uncharted 3, it was like night and fucking day, simply because of the speed. And I thought the speed of Uncharted was pretty much basic. It was pretty much arcadey to a point, but it was more or less the exception than the rule with certain games that I play, you know. But after playing The Last of Us and going back into freaking Uncharted, you realize how fast Uncharted is. It's faster than Battlefield, much more faster than freaking Call of Duty. If you see some of the videos by some big Uncharted gaming channels on YouTube, you'll see how fast that shit is, man. You know, how fast they make it. And I think with The Last of Us, it being a Naughty Dog game, and, you know, people wanting to play it in a way that wasn't really designed, they kind of forced the pace of the gameplay with The Last of Us, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But it is still a great game. The Last of Us is still a great game, despite, you know, the commercial failings from my standpoint, with all the microtransactions and shit. But you already know about that anyway. So it was like a whole different game when I went back onto Uncharted 3 after going on The Last of Us. But anyway, time has passed. The Last of Us basically made a port to the PS4, and people were playing that more than Uncharted 3. Now, I've named this video The Sweet and the Sour. simply because as much as there's going to be sweet moments once this game is released, there's going to be some sour moments as well. You know, there is no doubt about it, because Uncharted 4 is a highly anticipated game, and because the Uncharted community is so freaking huge, you know, it's a game that people are patient and willing to wait and ride out before the release, and rightfully so, because when you're seeing something like this, you know, you can't just freaking, you know, put that shit together in a matter of freaking months, man. You know what I mean? You know, with all the in-house departures and in-house movements of writers, directors, and what have you, you know, they got to get the shit right, you know? So, with that, waiting is not an issue for all of the fans, for me. But like I said, you're going to get some sweet moments and some sour moments. And these are the sweet moments for me. The sweet moments for me with Uncharted 4 is that once the game is released, I'm going to basically try my hardest to get into the team deathmatch situation, because unlike Uncharted 3, where I mostly played co-op, I didn't really play team deathmatch, and that's the sour part of the video. But the sweet part is the amount of fans, the amount of new fans I believe this game is gonna garner. It's gonna garner a lot of new fans, and it's going to reinforce the fan base that's already there for a new generation. You know, some people are just buying a PS4 for this game alone. Such is the reverence this game has, and the developers such as Naughty Dog has, that people are just buying a PS4 for this game alone. And we've got like, what, 8 months maximum still to wait. So the sweet part is, for me, getting involved with new fans of the series, playing the team deathmatch situation, as well as playing co-op arena, co-op adventure. I love co-op arena and adventure on Uncharted 3, and one can only imagine what that shit's gonna be like when that drops. The sour thing is, and these are for people that haven't played the game before, what you're gonna basically come against, you're gonna come against what I call blind fire hoes. And those are people who don't even freaking aim. This is one of the few games that people don't aim. They do not aim down sight in this game. They just basically blind fire, you know. And I'm hoping that the blind fire accuracy will be nerfed on this game. That's just one thing from my point of view. Second thing, glitching. I had a penchant for basically playing some Uncharted 3. So I went back on my PlayStation 3 yesterday and decided to play the game. And what did I meet in there? Glitching. People were glitching the fuck out of the game. So now I understand why Naughty Dog didn't even include any of the multiplayer in the Nathan Drake collection. I totally get it, and I totally freaking agree. Because that would just make for a freaking traumatic experience, especially for someone who hasn't had no knowledge or hadn't played any iteration of the series. And also, another thing that will be sour is what I deem as co-op rapists. And these are people who feels the need to be competitive in a co-op situation. And I've played enough of the game to know that if everybody plays their part, they will get more or less an equal amount of money and near enough equal amount of kills. But if you got somebody who's a co-op rapist who does not give two fucking shits about you, and all they want to do is go and get the power weapons and shit, that's it, you know, fuck you, just heal me when I'm dead. Next thing is microtransactions. Now, if they do this thing right and only serve microtransactions where you're paying for cosmetic stuff, that's fine. But if they're gonna do the shit like they done in The Last of Us, where you're actually paying where you are actually paying for scoped weapons and shit, it's gonna be a shame. It really is gonna be a shame. But anyway, that is it. That is all for me for now. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Uncharted 4: A Thief's End to drop. I can't even wait for the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection to see how the game really plays, 60 frames per second, upscaled, upmarket style. I can't wait for that. But those are my sweet points. Those are my sour points with the game. And, you know, do you agree? Don't you agree? What are your opinions? Are you a die-hard Uncharted fan? Have you never heard of Uncharted? Or, you know, are you just dipping your toes in the Uncharted franchise? Have you played any iteration of the Uncharted series, whether on PlayStation Now or on PlayStation 3? Have you ordered it and played a bit of it on PlayStation 3? I mean, I don't even think you even would want to when you know that the Nathan Drake collection is coming out for the PS4. But whatever the permutation, just let me know of your experience or what you hope your experience to be, and your excitement or your nonchalance at the whole Uncharted thing. But anyway, that's all for me for now. And as always, you know the coup. Whatever the game, whatever the media, whatever the format, whatever the genre. Happy gaming, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, because that's what it's all about. And until I catch you guys on the next one, stay blessed. Magan.